morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is FlossTube number 239. It's Sunday, April 28th. I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for finding my channel. And I hope that you like what you see. I want to hit like and subscribe and all of that good stuff, and keep coming back. If this is not your first time finding my channel, thank you so much for spending each week with me. It means so much. Realistically, if this is your first time finding my channel, this may not be the best video for you to watch. So please don't judge the whole channel based on today. I'll get into that in a minute. First, weather. I always give a Southern California weather report. I am warm right now. I'm starting to glow. So our weather is getting warmer. This past week, it's kind of been in the 70s. It's been like gloomy in the morning, but then it burns off. And it's just getting hotter. Next week, it's supposed to be mid 70s to actually high 80s towards the end of the week. So it's definitely, we're getting into the summer weather now. Also, this is a big reminder, I have a Zoom call today. Hopefully this video will upload quickly, and so if you're watching this, you'll have time to jump on. All of the information should be in the description box below, in the description box for the last several weeks, on how to join the Zoom call. It's going to be at 3 o'clock today, Pacific time. Basically just hanging out and stitching and sharing time together. So, you know, nothing too strenuous, just a little hangout time. Okay, so as I was saying, I almost didn't do a video today. I really debated whether I should just do a community post, and but I decided to go ahead and do it. I don't want my channel to be a negative place. I want it to be a positive place, but I've had a very, very difficult week. I only have one thing to show you. So I guess it's going to be a little bit of story time of what's going on in my life, and then I'll show you what I have, and then filler, I will show you, since, you know, we're at the end of the month, I'll show you my projects for next month. So, I know those of you that watch me were excited for me that my family was going to be in town this week, and they are, and I did see them, and I'm going to see them again tomorrow night, so that part is good. But basically what happened is Monday night was the first night of Passover, and I was invited to a Seder at a family friend's. They're people that I know not super well, but they're really good friends of Stacy, and of course I've met them, and just out of the blue they invited me to go to their family Seder, which was just so lovely. So they live in Mission Viejo, which is about half an hour south of me. I went there Monday night. The Seder was lovely. Everything that, you know, you would want from a little family Seder. And then afterwards, they were like, oh, you play Mahjong? Because we were talking about it, because I guess they get together. They love playing Mahjong, the women of the family. The dad, Bruce, he knows how, but he doesn't really super enjoy it. So I guess he'll play if he has to. But when they found out that I knew how to play, because Stacy taught me a couple years ago, they're all excited. So we played a couple hands of Mahjong, and then it was about 8:30, and I'm like, I really need to get home. I need to feed my cat. You know, I give him some extra food in the morning, but you know, he needs his wet food for dinner. And yes, it was all good. So I go out to my car, and I turn on the car, and my battery light came on, which was very weird. So I was like right in front of their house. I just like pulled up, you know, a few houses and parked, turned off the car, turned it back on, and wouldn't start. So, you know, it was doing that, you know, like the clicky, you know. So I went back in the house, and I'm like, my car won't start. So they're like, oh, okay, we have jumper cables. So they came out to try and jump my car, and Bruce couldn't figure out like where to put the leads, because I do have a hybrid, so it's a little bit weird under the hood, and he didn't want to mess around with it. So he's like, yeah, you better call roadside assistance. Well, I do have a good roadside assistance on Start, in case you're wondering. And so I called them. They sent out a truck very quickly, within like half an hour, and the guy was able to jumpstart my car. Yay, it turned over, everybody's rejoicing, and it was on for about 2 minutes and then sputtered out. So he's like, oh gee, when that happens, it's probably like the alternator. So I had him jump it again just so that I could pull it over, you know, really to park on the side of the street, because I was kind of like sticking out and everything. And of course, I'm immediately sort of freaked out. The daughter of the family, Molly, very kindly offered to drive me home. She's like, don't worry about it. You can leave the car here. You don't have to worry. There's no like street sweeping problem or anything like that. You can leave it here for a couple days. I'm like, okay. So she drove me home. So that was Monday night. So Tuesday, so I had texted my coworker that like what had happened, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not coming in tomorrow. I need to figure this out, because here's the deal. My car was half an hour south of me, you know, freeway south of me. And, you know, what do I do? So, you know, I looked, what's it going to cost for me to take a lift to get there, for it to be towed? It would have been $50 to take a lift. My head's already going like, oh my God, I can't afford any kind of car repair, which I can't, but you know, I have to have a car. I live in Southern California. I texted my car repair guy who, he does car repairs out of his home. I really feel like he knows what he's doing, and I trust him, and I trust that he gives me the best possible price, but he can be slower. I mean, that is just a fact of the fact that he works out of his house. But anyway, he was about 30 miles from where my car was to him, was about 30 miles. I called the roadside assistance place to just get information, and I found out that my roadside assistance does cover 25 miles of towing, and then you just have to pay for the balance. It's like $8 a mile, so it was going to be $40 because it was 5 miles extra. So okay, that was good. Then I'm like, how do I get to the car? And I called my boss. We didn't have any clients coming in that day. And of course, you know, he doesn't, I told him, I don't really want to have to ride back with a tow truck driver, because A, climbing up into one of those big trucks would be very difficult for me. And B, I don't feel safe, you know, like if it's some strange tow truck driver. So he, of course, was like, of course, I'll come get you. And then while we were driving there, I called for the tow truck. The tow truck actually arrived before we did, because they told me when I was getting information, it would be like an hour, and he was there within like 15 minutes. So, but he waited, and then he got the car on the bed, and then he's like, okay, we'll meet you at the place. So we drove to Randy's, my car repair guy. We were there maybe five minutes before the tow truck driver was there. Randy had a spot on the street and everything. He's like, you don't have to wait. You know, I deal with this all the time. Tow truck drivers just, you know, they'll drop it off. They'll give me the keys. So anyway, we were there when the tow truck driver arrived, and I gave him a tip, and, which I don't know if I had to, but I did. And, we didn't wait for him to like get the car off. So anyway, that was Tuesday. And then of course, because my boss had picked me up, he took me to work. So I actually did go to work on Tuesday. I was there around noon. Now I had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday that I canceled. So on that front, I know I talked last week about trying this new medication. And I did talk to my doctor over email, and told her I didn't want to continue with the medication. A, because I felt really sick, and B, because it was really expensive. And she said, I understand, we'll have to re-up your insulin and we'll discuss it. Well, I had to cancel the appointment because of everything's going on. So, but I did go off the medication. It took like about, I would say 3 or 4 days, but I am not nauseous now. So that's good. That is a positive. Okay, come here. Come here. Oh, Mr. Clingy Cat. Okay, this is Bagheera for those of you who don't know. Okay, so that was Tuesday. So I got to work, and I don't have much of a problem getting home from work, because my friend's husband picks her up every day, and he's willing to drive me home when possible. My boss will drive me home. They're very kind about that. It's getting to work in the morning that is sometimes an issue. And I can always take Lyft, but the problem is that Lyft is like $30 in the morning. It would be like $20 when I come home and $30 to go to work. You know, that adds up. I mean, last time my car was out, which was just in January, you know, as much as everybody was helpful getting me to and from work, it still cost me, you know, in Lyft stuff and everything like that, an extra couple $100, which, you know, I need to go towards the car. So anyway, that was Tuesday. My brother and his family got in on Tuesday to town. What are you doing? All right, Maggie, go lay down. Go lay down. Thank you. Sorry. All right, so Wednesday was the day that I was supposed to get together with my brother and the boys for dinner. And of course, I'm carless, and they wanted to meet in Lake Forest, which is back where my car had died, because Stacy was supposed to have the car, but because now I was carless, you know, for Erin to have the car, then they had to be close to where she needed to go with Reagan to the cheer gym. So anyway, my friend Greg and Lisa, you know, through text messaging, and, you know, and I'm all prepared to say like, well, I can't go, I can't see people. But Greg and Lisa were like, no, of course we'll pick you up, no problem. So they picked me up from work. We went to Red Robin. I was able to have, you know, spend an evening, a couple hours with Erin and Greg and Lisa and Logan and Hudson, which was wonderful seeing the kids. They're the same, you know, taller, bigger, but you know, I think Logan is much more outgoing than he used to be. I think he's coming into his own a bit, which is nice. Hudson was his normal silly sort of self. I got hugs. That was fantastic. Stacy and Reagan actually stopped by the restaurant for like 30 seconds just so that they could hug everybody. So I actually got to see them too. So that was really nice. And then Greg drove me home. So that was Wednesday. And, you know, Thursday, Friday, you know, I've gotten rides and everything. I did hear from Randy on Friday that he is trying to find the part so he can give me a quote. And he said something with the battery pack in the back. I don't know if this is part of my hybrid or if that, you know, I don't know. I'm just so scared that it's going to be more money than I can do. I don't have that much. You know, and I just don't have it. It just doesn't exist. I mean, I may have to take money out of my IRA. We have a simple IRA at work, and Friday, Alita gave me the check to put in the match for last year. And I'm looking at it thinking, okay, you know, $1,500 of this is going into my account. I'm like, yep, and I may have to take it out and, you know, pay a penalty so that I can get my car. So, you know, my insides are tied up in knots. On top of that, there's just another stressor. I went to go pay my rent on Friday and looked because I've been waiting to get my lease renewal thing that they always put on the door and whatever. And I'm like, God, that's got to be coming up. And I looked, and actually, I should have done it. It should have been in February. Like this month, April, I'm on month to month. So my lease expired at the end of March. And like they never sent me any kind of notification. So I called the office and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, and the guy looked and he's like, oh, you know, corporate offices. He goes, you're month to month. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be. He goes, oh, that wasn't your intention. I'm like, no. I'm like, you guys have always given me, I mean, I've lived here since 2018. They've always given me a lease proposal, like at least a month and a half before my lease is due to expire. And I had it in my head, I guess May. it was March instead of May. They've always given me, you know, a notification, and they didn't. He said, oh, corporate office is preparing it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, that, but it makes me feel really scared. Like, are they going to do something weird? Did they do that so that I go month to month so that they can get around the limits and go higher? I don't know. I mean, it's just, I mean, I know I'm going to get an increase. I've gotten an increase every year, and they will increase the maximum amount, which in California is like 5 to 10%, depending on what the CPE is, but it's going to at least be 5%. The cap is 10. I think this year will be someplace between 7 and 8% increase, which, you know, you're never going to get a 7 or 8% increase in income. So you're always just going into the hole. And so my stress and it's just off the charts this week. It's like I feel like I get a little bit ahead financially. I mean, seriously, guys, I feel like there's nothing in my life. I mean, you know, health is okay and everything, but I feel like there's nothing in my life that wouldn't be at least made 100% easier if I just had more money. And I make good money, but it's so expensive living here, and every time I turn around, something breaks or something, you know, and I just feel like I can't get ahead, and I can't, you know, and it's times like this, and please understand, I have wonderful friends and family, and I do have people who care about me, but I'm alone, and I have to deal with all this stuff alone. And it's, you know, it's great for somebody to go, oh, I'm sorry, and I feel for you and whatever, but you know, when you have a partner in life, whether romantic partner or family that you live with or whatever, you know, there's people who can take on a little bit of the burden for you. When you're overloaded, they can do it. And when they're overloaded, you can do it. And that's what I don't have. You know, I have people who will, yes, pick me up and drive me home, but I have to ask, and I have to feel like I am asking for a favor and being a burden, and, you know, and I have to ask, and I have to prepare for them to say, well, I can't today. So I have to have another way, you know. It's like, you know, I can't expect people to drop everything for me. Whereas, like, if you have a partner in life, yeah, they have to drop everything for you because they're your partner, right? So I don't know. And I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful, and I don't want to sound like I'm whining and complaining. This is part of why I really debated about whether even doing a video today. But anyway, that is what's going on. So I am, again, without a car. Who knows for how long? Who knows how much it's going to cost me? I'm going to have to cross that bridge when I get to it. I mean, a huge car repair last January, which, you know, my boss paid for like 2/3 of it. I didn't get, he paid for it, but I didn't get a Christmas bonus. So it's like, you know, if I got the Christmas bonus, that's what I would have used to pay for it. But so I didn't get a bonus. I got a car repair. But even so, I paid for 1/3 of it, and all of the little expenses that happened because I was without a car. So anyway, that is what is going on. That is why I was stressed this week. I was really focused on trying to get this project finished for tomorrow for Stacy's birthday, which I did get done, so I will show you that in a second. But, you know, because of everything that was going on, Monday night I wasn't even home, so I couldn't stitch. Tuesday night I was so exhausted because Monday night, guys, I did not sleep. I had the TV on all night because I can fall asleep to the TV. It gives my brain something to focus on and kind of mellow out. Because when I turned it off and it was silent, my brain was just, it was like a hamster on a wheel. I couldn't, and it was just the stress, you know, like, what if this, and I'm, you know, and I'm not gonna have any money, and how do I pay for this? And, you know, it was just hamster. So that kept turning on the TV and like setting it to go off in an hour when I thought I would be asleep, but I just wasn't sleeping deep enough for me not to wake up as soon as the TV went on. So I had the TV on pretty much all night, and I slept so badly. I was so exhausted. So Tuesday night I got home from work. I just crashed. I didn't do anything. And then Wednesday night I went out. So Thursday, Friday, and yesterday I stitched on one thing, which is what I have to show you. This also, and I hate to even say this because, yeah, it's excuse. This is part of the reason why I haven't gotten out the stupid little golden books, which, you know, are a year overdue, more than a year overdue, because I am so stressed about money. It's like I don't have the money to send them out. And, you know, it's just, I'm going to have to do it in dribbles when I feel just a tiny bit less panicky about money, I guess. So I'm sorry for those of you that won them. And I mean, I know that if you want to leave my channel because I promised something that I'm not delivering, I mean, they're here. If you, if you're going to see me in real life anytime, I would be happy to give them to you. But eventually they'll go out, and, you know, and I guess I have to just be realistic and not promise to give stuff on my channel because the shipping is an issue. Okay, so that's it. Now you guys know what's going on in my life. You know, my stress levels. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to, you know, because worrying and all that kind of stuff doesn't really help, right? I mean, but I know myself too, and when I get stressed like this, I wish I was the kind of person that I would get the nervous energy and just become a whirlwind and like clean and organize, and I don't. I become just like a lump on the couch, and I just want to do nothing. Even the crafting is a chore. So anyway, okay, so that's it. That's what's going on in my life. As I said, I got one project finished, and that is this project for Stacy, which obviously still needs to be ironed. And then I'm gonna iron it and put felt on the back and kind of finish it. But the hanger, see, I screwed up that too. I got the hanger to give with it, and it's too short. I don't have, and of course there's not enough time, so I'm gonna have to give it to her and tell her what to get to hang it, and then, you know, anyway, so here it is. This mom runs on coffee and caffeine, and I ran out of the last color over here. Hopefully I matched with some solids good enough. I mean, it does look a tiny bit patchy, but, you know, I'm at the point, like, what can I do? It is what it is. So I need to iron it, put some interface, and then I'm going to fold it and iron it and put a felt backing, and then it will be ready to be hung using the poster thing, or if she wants to do something else with it, she could still frame it. But I don't know that they're doing anything as far as wall decor right now. So I did finish a project, one project this week. And that's it. Haul, the only haul I have for the project for my brother, which again is this. If you know, you know, right, what it is. And obviously these two are cut off, but they will be the same size as that one. So these little dots, they needed something, and you know, French knots is not something I want to do because they don't look good. So I went through my button stash, and it's like I didn't have anything that was small enough. So, all right, I'm not in here. There it is. So I ordered these from Amazon. They were, you know, very expensive, inexpensive. I think they were $5 or $6, and they're the teeny tiniest buttons you've ever seen. I think they're supposed to be for doll clothes, but they're gonna work really well for the project that I need them for. I just have to decide what color. I think the blue is gonna look the best on the fabric. Can you even see how tiny they are? So that was all I got haul-wise. Okay. I'm hoping going forward next week that I will mentally feel energetic enough to stitch and relax, let the stitching relax me. It does sometimes. It's just when I get to this kind of place, it's just everything becomes harder. I mean, I know it's kind of a form of depression. I'm very aware of that because of my mom. My mom was bipolar. So I try really hard, like when I can feel myself getting blue. I mean, I don't think that I have like severe clinical depression, but I think sometimes I have, you know, slight depression. And when I do, it's really hard for me to motivate to do anything. So I'm trying really hard to kind of not feel that way. But anyway, so next month, since May is starting, my theme for May is fur, feathers, and flame. So basically it's like most of my animal projects, which I have a lot of because that's one of my favorite sort of themes. So fur is mostly cat stuff, although I have panda too. Feathers obviously are my few bird projects, and then flame is my dragons. So some of the stuff you've already seen this year, some of it you haven't seen yet this year. Kitty Magic is going to come out, which I showed last week. We'll see if I get anything into that, but and then Cat Collage, which is over here, which I didn't pull. It's the Laura Birch one with all the colorful cats. I will also be working on my little Snapdragon. I guess I can show you where I am on all these projects. So there is the little Snapdragon. Which I enjoy working on this one a lot. I will continue working on the bird for my friend Tracy, which is this one. The hummingbird. So I need to, I have a lot of flower to do, and then the male ruby-throated hummingbird. My dandelions, which is these two free patterns. They're from Little Room in the Attic, and I just thought that these two were so cute, and I'm turning them into one project. Okay. I've got little stray threads everywhere, but that's basically where I'm at. Just the tail of the first one with his dandelion poof at the end. Okay. Oh, this is my Teresa Wensler peacock. So this is a kit, and my first Teresa Wensler. In all honesty, I think it will be my only Teresa Wensler. I think it's turning out beautiful. I do not really enjoy all of the blends and stuff. I think this is not for me, but that's how far I am. I mean, again, I think they look beautiful. I just, the fiddliness of the blends and yeah, it's, I don't want to say more trouble than it's worth, but I feel like I'm spending time figuring out which which thread to pull, and then just tiny little bits, because it's like super confetti, to get that effect that it's just, I'm not enjoying it. This is my Panda and Finches project. Which is basically these pandas and these finches. And I'm doing it on this backgrounds fabric. So this is not one of my favorites to work on. This one's more of a chore. So you can kind of tell when I say stuff like that, like, you know, we'll see if that means that it becomes sort of a inactive project at some point because I'm just not loving it, or what. You know, that one's kind of on the edge. It's like, I think I would really love the final result. I just don't know if I'm enjoying working on it. Then I have my Dimensions Gold Collection kitty litter. I do love working on this one. So last year I got this center cat face done. This year, at the beginning of the year when I was working on this, I got that cat. So now I need to decide kind of which direction I'm gonna go. But I do enjoy this one. I know I'm going really fast through this, but it's just kind of to give you an idea of what I'm going to be stitching on. This is Tuxedo Cat Eyes, which is a full coverage that I kind of started on a whim. It kind of matches the Lavender Roses. Okay, where is my cover picture? There we go. This totally looks like my cat Herbie, who passed away at 21 back in 2016, I think, 2017. So this is full coverage, but it actually goes kind of quick because it's just such big blocks of white and black. And then last but not least, I have Mini Flower Kitty by Jeremiah Kentner. Which is another full coverage. I haven't worked on this in, I think, since January. So it'll be fun to pull that one out again because I really do like this one. Oops. And that's where I am. Wait. That's where I am. So this little tiny dark right there, I think that is the edge of the kitty's ear. So if I am able to finish, well, I will be able to finish this diagonal, but do another diagonal during this month, I think we're going to get a chunk of kitty. Okay, and that is the projects that are on the slate for May. So, so again, if you see this in time, I would love to have you join the Zoom today at 3 o'clock. I need I need the positive vibes. So yeah, so we'll be on to 2 or 3 hours depending. Yeah, and to anybody who can join, I would love to see you there. You know, let's hope that I get good word on my car, that it will be easy to fix and not too expensive, you know, that I can handle it without having to beg, borrow, or steal from other people. And then hopefully I will have some smooth sailing for a while. You know, I feel like, I don't know if this is a fact. Well, it's probably a factor of all of it. I think it's a factor of my divorce, having the rug pulled out for me with that, and then the pandemic, and then losing my mom. And I feel like I'm constantly just like waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling anxious all the time. I don't like feeling scared. You know, I want to look to the future and the unknown as like you know, full of exciting possibilities, not full of stress and fear. And right now, I've spent the last several years feeling like, you know, I'm constantly waiting for the shoe to drop, and that I'm scared all the time. And I don't like that feeling, but I don't know how to get away from it, because, you know, life is what it is. You know, the financial situation just sucks, and I, you know, I watch TV or I watch other people and they talk about buying this or buying that, or going on a vacation, or getting a car, or whatever it is. And it's like, why am I in such a crappy situation that I can't do any of that stuff? I haven't been extravagant in my life. It's just kind of life circumstances and helping take care of my mom, and then my divorce and all that kind of stuff, and having to move like twice in the space of 2 years. And it just went through every bit of savings that I had. And, you know, I feel like I got kind of screwed over by my ex, by life. And now, you know, I can't even contemplate. You know, people say, oh, when are you going to go visit your brother? Well, I don't see how I can. I don't have money for a plane ticket. I don't have money to board my cat for a week or two. I just don't have any extra anything. And I'm trying, you know, I haven't defaulted on anything. I've paid my bills on time, you know, but in doing that, I have nothing, no cushion, nothing to fall back on. And, it's scary. And I just don't know what to do about it. I mean, I don't know that there is anything I can do about it. Lots of people are in this situation. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm getting older, you know, when I was a bit younger, it was like, oh, I can get another job. I mean, I'm at an age where I know I can't go get another job. I don't have the physical energy to go get another job. I can't do stuff like that. So anyway, I don't want to be a complainer. I'm trying to keep my outlook positive. You guys give me the positive vibes, which is very helpful. So I thank you for that. I thank you for sticking with me, if you have, listening to my tale of woe. And yeah, so until I see you again, I hope the world rights itself for me, and I hope that you have a great week. Until I see you again next week, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.